We're here to show the rest of the campus that us as Kyalami, first of all, as a house, have the right moral values that were entrenched in us from our house, and we want to show the varsity as well that by doing this we'll be making maybe a small difference, but in the right direction, and that's what House Kyalami is all about.
We feel that as men, you cannot call yourself a man and then abuse children and women. A man should stand for women and for children and not against them.
Dit is onze familielede, dit is soms ons ook, maar dit ook ervaar en ons kan nie stil bly nie. So ons is hier om ons stem dik te maak en om saam te staan as 'n Kovsies span vandag.
We had a men's march today, which is actual fact not a march for men, but it was an important opportunity for students, men students, to say we're protesting unhealthy understanding of what it means to be a man. Because I mean, as men we think you're a man amongst men when you can be strong and you can be violent. And we had 500 men here today saying we can be recognized as men among men because we heal and because we build.
The life of a 17-year-old schoolgirl matters. The life of a university student matters. But the call to never be silent is not just for now. It is for when we leave this gathering, for when we move into our communities, into our residences, when we move off to engage with our friends. It is for when we face incidences of gender violence in our own lives, amongst our own friends. It is for when we take up positions of leadership in this country.
You struggle with this thing of student apathy that people keep throwing in your face and saying, where are our students? The student voice, as my counterpart from UCT has pointed out, has historically in South Africa had much weight in changing the country. And it is glad to see that we are once again gathering together behind a useful cause.
There are very few times in our history at the University of the Free State where we can really say what we stood for has been something we can be proud of. Today is one of those days. Today is the day that we decided to raise our national voices and to add to something which we can call our legacy. Something that doesn't only end here by university students marching together, but that ultimately becomes something that a nation can be proud of.
This is a very sad day in our country because we are remembering a great tragedy. And it's a tragedy that's been with us for many decades, and it's a tragedy of a very violent country. The most dangerous thing today in South Africa is to be a woman, because you cannot go to the shop without worrying if somebody's going to jump out of a bush. You cannot go at night to the library because you have to worry if somebody's going to attack you. We are in serious trouble. You're not going to solve this problem with marches alone. You're going to solve this problem by the way in which we raise our young men to be men. I get angry with a male student that slapped his girlfriend. I get angry with a man at home that lifts his hand against his wife. I get angry with the employer that uses his hand to deal with an employee. I get angry with a parent who uses the hand to discipline a small child. You see, it's all part of the same problem in which we don't respect the body of the other person. So it's easy to get angry with the rapist, but what are the things in our culture? I get angry when I see men drunk standing at a rugby match and a woman goes past and they comment on the woman. That's called rape of another kind. I get angry when young men stand on the corner of the streets and a woman comes past and they make lewd comments of a sexual nature, and that for me is rape of another kind. So don't just get angry with the men, and we should, in Bredasdorp that disemboweled Anine Boysen and killed her. We should get angry with that. But ask yourself, what are the many little ways in which we as men contribute to a violent culture that makes it possible for us to be the rape capital of the world.
I'm immensely proud of students here, you know, and 500 men together is a strong voice. We also, of course, symbolically offered apology, you know, and we kneeled and we invited all men around us to kneel as well as a signal to say we're sorry for the violence that we are complicit in, that we have been part of in many ways, either small or real tragic traumas. And then we stood up to say we are taking up a new cause. I'm immensely proud of our students. They give me hope, they give our country hope, and a different world is possible, and they're doing it. They're creating that world, and I'm proud of this march.